Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our channel, our channel, Universal Businesses Limited Soulism Spiritualism channel. Today we're going to discuss more in depth, in detail about soulism and spiritualism. Last time we continued on the foundation of freedom, and then we extended towards the connotation of liberty for the soul and spirit. So basically, the freedom and liberty is associated with the persona of the individual according to his environment, and that is reflected in his soul and spirit. So basically, the environment is based on the economic, political, and social environment that the person is placed in. For instance, if the person is placed in an environment of oppression and suppression, then the body is oppressed and suppressed, and the mind is oppressed and suppressed, and the soul and spirit is oppressed and suppressed. The nations that best exemplify the freedom and liberty would be the United States of America. That is the most free, liberty and liberalized nation on earth, and the next nations would be the nations within Europe, the socialist nations, and in particular the United Kingdom has partial but limited freedom and liberty. Unfortunately, the United Kingdom still is not a free and liberty and liberalized nation like the United States of America, and therefore the soul has some encumbrance living in the United Kingdom. And the soul and spirit has an encumbrance living in the United Kingdom. Even within the European regions, there may be a little bit more an extensiveness of the freedom and liberty of the nations, and therefore would benefit the mind and soul of the individual living in those nations. I would say that some European nations are more freer and liberty and liberalized than the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom still is going through the historical connections with its past of oppression and suppression through its imperialism and ruling other nations. So unfortunately, the people in this nation are oppressed and suppressed, whether it be from the economic, political or social environment, or even the individuals can be oppressive and suppressive to citizens. Now, if we go further where the oppression and suppression is even more extensive, we would say Russia, and then further off would be China, and then the Middle East, and then the Asian nations have also quite a lot of oppression and suppression still, and therefore the soul and spirit will not be able to flourish as much as it would in the United States of America. So the best place for the liberalization and liberation of the soul and spirit would be in the United States of America. where the individual's rights are to its maximum capacity, and there is unlimited, unduly, unrestricted freedoms and rights in America of the individual. Yes, America is still the greatest liberalized, most greatest free and liberalized nation on earth. And the other regions of the world have a slight envy and jealousy towards the liberty and freedom of the souls and spirits of the Americans, and the minds of the Americans, and unfortunately this is a fact of life that we have to face on earth with all of its imperfections. So yes, so as we mentioned, that the extensions of freedom and liberty is governed by the nation's environments. I, for one, I moved from the United States of America to the United Kingdom, and I could sense immediately the negative aspects of the British citizens, with all of its oppressiveness and suppressiveness that you would not find with the American citizens. So yes, I can tell the difference between the two nations, and if that soul and spirit is suppressed and oppressed, then it doesn't have full governance of itself, because then it becomes a property of the state, and unfortunately in these European nations, the souls and spirits are still a property of the state, and also the collective thinking of these cumbersome socialists, with all of their negative latches on people's ankles and shackles that prevent the freedom and liberty of individuals, and the freedom and liberty of the individuals also means the creation of mass extensive poverty through all its socialistic drawbacks and reversals, and this is what I am facing currently in the British realm. The shackles, on your ankles, with these anti-freedom British movements that are currently in place in this nation, which is injuring my soul and spirit, which was once a pure and freely associated soul and spirit in the North America. And when I was living in the North America, it was a complete opposite of what it was living in the United Kingdom. So yes, I can tell immediately the difference between the environments. And I can tell you for sure that the natives of the North Americans would not treat you in the same fashion as these British, and hopefully not the Europeans as well, but because I've not lived in Europe, but I have traveled to Europe, and I find it much more of a larger place to live, which allows the freedom of movement and so forth, unlike Britain, which is has isolated itself amongst the world as a superiorly complexed nation, and I'm sure that when these English were put on earth, they never thought that they would have free reign to invade foreign lands and take over countries that did not belong to them. So I don't know where these English got this Mad Hatter's idea from, but it was always lurking in the back of their minds that they're always superior to others, which I don't really consider to be true or in that fashion, and therefore liberty of my soul and spirit is diminished in this nation, because these English are an oppressive race, and very manipulative and deceptive, and you can't mingle with deceptive citizens of this nation with all of its you can't mingle with them, because you know, they're off on a tangent in this land, and so maybe in the future we'll move back to America and be free again. Yeah, so thank you all for visiting my channel. This is my religion. I created it, Soulism Spiritualism channel, Soulism and Spiritualism religion. It's the religion of maximizing your potential, and you're most welcome to follow it. And remember, there is no limitations. It's all baloney. Don't believe it. And you know, if you have to leave the masses behind to get forward, then leave them. And if you leave them behind, then just leave them behind and just walk forward. Okay, thank you all for visiting my channel, and I wish you good evening and good night, and I wish you all the best. And remember to subscribe to my channel, and also I would be grateful for a donation to keep my unique religion progressing into the future. And remember, stay pure, stay focused, and stay unlimited. Thank you. Stay spiritually pure, stay spiritually focused, and stay spiritually unlimited. Good night, good evening, and see you in the next broadcast. Thank you.